How we doing, guys? I'm Mark from One Stop Grow Shop here. We're here with Ian. We're going to talk and do a bit of product demo and expose on the new CarboAir filters. One of the things we are going to talk about, and I think we've got to cover it, is Rhino filters. You brought Rhino filters in.
Yeah, it's what I was known for, so we can't say that I wasn't. So Rhino filters is still a good filter, we need to cover it.
So we're not going to slag it off, it's still a good filter. What we've actually got here from Ian is going to explain is a evolution of the filter, and you've just taken it further, haven't you?
Yeah, everything evolves. There's no point going over Rhino saying how bad it is or how good it is. It's basically, this product is just an evolved filter from what you see at the moment. It's a European filter, it's not a Chinese filter. Everything's controlled, the carbon's controlled, the metalwork's controlled, it's short deliveries, we keep a hell of a lot of stock, and we believe this filter is better than Rhino, but Rhino is still not a bad filter.
And so, talking about CarboAir, obviously Global Air Supply is backed by System Air.
Yeah, again, for the last 12 months, working with System Air, we've found a filter manufacturer which we really like. We've worked with multiple guys trying to get this product perfect. Worked with System Air, they told us what we needed to do to get the best filter. We went away and got it, brought it back, they tested it, did some changes, and this is what we've got today. It's the only filter which is basically approved for System Air to use with their fans. All the other filters are not approved to work with their fans.
So these are designed with various bed sizes, various lengths to match the actual any filter that their fan that they sell.
Yeah,
basically.
One filter doesn't fit all. So
yeah.
Basically what you get with other filter manufacturers, you have 2 or 3 sizes and they expect that to work for all the fans. What we've done, we've checked the airflow. There's no point in having a huge filter when you don't need a huge filter. So basically we've changed the sizes of the filters, we've changed the size of the beds to work in unison with System Air products.
Cool, and we'll cover that in a bit more detail in a minute, but I think let's do a bit of an unveil.
Yeah,
so
no problem.
I'll move this out of the way for a minute, that gives us a bit of space, and I believe we've got a sharp device down here,
no problem.
which I'll let you cut your fingers off.
Right, no problem.
Notice is the cardboard box is actually quite a nice sturdy box itself.
Yeah.
And here's a Brucey bonus. I've never seen a filter that's come pre-made with split wrap, I'll give you a chuck, and strapping. So all I've actually got to do there is actually take off the filter and the shrink and hang it.
Yep, take off the wrapping. We put hanging brackets on here, really strong hanging brackets, because that's one of the issues we used to have with other products. You're always struggling to hang the product, where this, you don't have to put any straps on there, you hang it, it's not restricting any airflow, out of the box, take the wrapping off, it's ready to roll.
So, sounds like a plan to me. So guys, we're going to start talking a bit more in depth about the differences, qualities and things like that. So if we strip off the pre-filters, which I can see straight away there is a difference in quality.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, this completely machine washable. We do sell spares, but this will last as long as the filter if you want to do. So it's a great pre-filter.
Cool. Okay. Get rid of these for a minute and start talking about difference. But this is where I'm going to hand over to you. I've only seen pictures. I've read the info on this, but do you want to start running through some of the differences for us?
Yeah. Basically, what you'll see straight away, put them side by side. Completely different filters. This is 660 long. This is 600. Some people cheat when they're saying it's a 600 filter, because what they do, they actually measure to the flange here, so it's a 600 long filter. Rhino's pretty good because it measures from there to there, so the carbon in bed is 600 mil long.
Yeah. Where
some other filters are actually 50 mil shorter than that, but we still sell them as 600s.
These are both 6-inch filters, by the way, just to clear that one up. So.
Yeah, so we're both 600 filters. Ours obviously measures 660, this measures 600. This is just because when we did the trials, basically 660 worked better on the higher powered fans. So what we've also done, as you can see, there's brackets on the filter which make it great for hanging up, no more putting straps. Anything what you put around the filter to hold it up restricts airflow. So basically we've took that away and put these brackets on. You'll see by looking, completely different mesh.
Yeah, massively different from previously.
Yeah, basically, believe it or not, that this mesh it has an open mesh of 51%. This mesh, because it's multiple thousands and thousands of holes, it has a 53% open mesh. Right, so this actually has more open mesh than this. But what you see, if you get your Rhino filter and look really close, you can see there's a nylon bed behind the mesh.
If you've ever had the dropped one, or you needed to dispose one, you've opened one of all these up, you'll know inside there's the netting inside it.
Yeah, the net's basically to keep the carbon in, because these holes are so big. If it didn't have a nylon mesh, carbon would come out. But the problem with a nylon mesh, it restricts airflow. Everything you put in the way of carbon will restrict the airflow. It might not look a lot, but it is.
Okay.
So ours is a lot finer. Our carbon is a lot bigger. So the carbon in Rhino Pro filters is 412. 4 being the biggest.
Yeah.
A lot of people are quoting RC412, RC48, RC...
We've been through, many people in the industry have been through this whole virgin carbon.
It's virgin carbon, RC42, it's just copies of copies.
Yeah.
Basically RC412, 4 means an inch divided by 4, 12 means an inch divided by 12, and that's the mesh size. So 4 is the biggest piece you'll get, 12 is the smallest. Great filter, a lot of dust. A lot of people complain when I was selling this, quite dusty, restricts airflow. This is a bigger carbon.
Yeah.
It allows the airflow to travel through the carbon better and have a longer contact time.
Is this pallet or granulated?
Granulated.
Granulated. Right.
Yeah, so it's a granulated carbon. I'm not going to go into detail what the carbon is, because as with RC412 and RC48 and Australian virgin carbon, everybody jumps on the bandwagon and everybody starts quoting these.
And you're splitting wigs anyway.
Yeah.
What matters is airflow and how well it does the job, doesn't it? At the end of
Basically, yeah. So what you'll see, the Rhino Pro is 50mm bed. Ours is 60, so you get an extra 10mm of carbon all the way around the filter, which is a huge amount of carbon extra. So basically, putting these on high-powered fans allows the airflow to travel through as quicker than any other filter, but still activates as the carbon runs through.
So the fact that it's actually thicker, it isn't slowing down at all?
No, because we've gone thicker, but we've gone a coarser carbon. So by having a coarser carbon, the airflow will travel through quicker, but we've got a wider bed, so you've got a longer
So it's got longer
time
to actually act on it and have the impact?
Yeah. Come in all multiple of sizes.
Yeah.
This does 1350 cubic metres. This one does about 900 cubic metres. Both work great on RVKL1 fans.
So both work really well. Obviously, one's going to be slightly more efficient with other high-powered fans. We can definitely go into that in a bit more detail when we start talking about Revolution fans, because obviously they are so much more high-powered, have less pressure drop. So that's going to work better with that type of fan.
Yeah, basically the pressure drop on this filter when we've tested it is just over 100 PA. So pressure drop, which is measured in pascals, basically this filter is one of the lowest pressure drops on a fan. So you connect the filter to a fan, and we've done all the tests. So anybody wants to know what the fan does with the filter attached, we can give them the airflow, the pressure drop, everything to do with the pairing of the fan and filter.
Cool, because everyone, most people will know if they've done it, the minute you stick a fan on it, most fans actually lose the ability to push the air or pull it through it, don't they? And then you think you've got a cubic metre volume there, but you've lost out.
No, this is one of the problems in retail stores. A customer will walk in and say, I've got this size room, or I've bought this size tent, I've got this many lights in, and you'll do the sums to calculate what airflow it needs. After that, it's guesswork, because you spec the fan, then you give them your choice of filter, and filters like this will drop your pressure by 20 to 30%. So if you're running at 1,000 cubic metres standalone fan, put a filter on there, you're down at 600, 700 cubic metres.
So you're nowhere near what you actually should have in the room. To
what you've got to do, you've got to overspec the fan.
Yeah, and different fans work differently as well. Some the minute you put any kind of resistance on some fans, the pressure drops even more, don't they?
Yeah, some of the cheap Chinese fans which are around, you put a filter on there and realistically there's nothing coming out of the fan. They say that they're really quiet. I'll not go too much into box fans and things like that, but basically you put a filter on a product like a box fan or a really cheap Chinese fan, and the pressure will be so low it will run at half speed. So that's why people say they're quiet fans. They're not quiet fans. It's basically quiet because you reduce the airflow by about 50%.
Yeah, it's something that we talk a lot, or have talked a lot previously in store, is pressure drop, is the fact that you can choke the fan. People go, a couple of times people got said they're struggling with their environment, and we go through the details, and it's like you take a 6-inch 6-inch hole and a fan and a filter, and you attach it to a 4-inch hole, you're choking the fan. You're not allowing air movement to do. So it's the same thing when you start putting filters on. You've got to match the right ones up, haven't you?
Yeah, it's all about matching the airflow with the absorption rate of the carbon. That's the two main things. Can you get the air through a filter so the fan doesn't lose its power but still filter the air?
Yeah.
That's the main things on a carbon filter. This is the only filter which is quality approved from System Air, because they've checked it, they know it works, they've done the airflow tests, and what we've done, every single fan has a matching, every single filter, has a matching fan. So you look in the booklet, if you want to buy an RVK 150L1, this is the filter for you. If you buy an A1, you'd buy the smaller version,
Cool.
but you know that they're matched.
Yeah, and some of the more high-powered ones, you've actually got even deeper beds, haven't you?
Yeah, well? The standard filter, which is basically for the A1 fans, so the lower powered fans, is a 50mm bed. When you go to the more high-powered fans, then we suggest you always go to a 60mm bed. And if you've got the really high-powered fans, but you're talking 590 cubic metres, the immense size fans, then we suggest using a 100mm bed, which is basically twice the size of what a Rhino is.
Yeah, which is massive, which is a big game changer, which nobody else really does that on the market, is it?
No, if you want belt and braces, if you really want to protect your room, basically go for a bigger bed size, so that you know that you're 100% safe. Like I said, this does 1390 cubic metres. It's a huge filter for an RVK L1, but we know you're safe using this.
Cool.
And we've got the pressure drops to prove it.
And all those or some of that stuff is in the magazine catalogue. I'm sure there's more stuff to come out. We'll tag stuff onto our videos as well and put links in there as well for you guys. Anything else you want to cover on these at the minute?
No, like I say, it's a European manufactured filter.
Yeah.
It's not a Chinese filter, although I'm not slagging China off, but basically we can control every part of this filter. From the carbon source, it's a European carbon, there's no heavy metals in it. Our carbon is actually certified for human consumption. So you could filter water through this, or you can filter anything through this carbon, and it's for human consumption. There's no heavy metals, there's nothing in the carbon, it's pure carbon.
Cool. That's I've been Mark, this has been Ian. Thank you very much for coming along and having a watch of this video. These are available to buy in store or online at www.onestopgrowshop.co.uk.